Cowboys Corral TV presents the Legends BBQ Pep Rally. It's time to get ready for the game. Let's talk football with the people who know it best. The Legends of America's Team, hosted by legendary Cowboy wide receiver Drew Pearson. That's right, the original 88, and filmed in front of a live audience of hungry Cowboys fans. It's the Legends BBQ Pep Rally.
Welcome to the Legends Cowboy Show right here on CowboysCorral.com. Thank you all for coming and being here. You know we have a Legends show all through the season this year, mostly because this is the last year at Texas Stadium, and we brought a lot of legends in through the course of the season with Cowboy home games to talk about some great memories of Texas Stadium and other memories of what they've done being a member of the Dallas Cowboys, and then also just talking football and finding out what some of these legends are doing in their life after football. And for some of us, thank God, there's been a lot of life after football. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Well, we had some special guests so far this season, and our guest today actually has been with us before, but he's back by popular demand. Or command. But anyway, our special guest today, 13 years in the NFL, started out with the Dallas Cowboys as an undrafted free agent, all-time leading, interception leader. He almost has as many receptions as interceptions as T.O. has receptions this year. Oh. And I guarantee you, he didn't drop nothing. All right. So without further ado, before I get into more trouble, let's welcome number 24 from the Dallas Cowboys, Everson Walls. All right. All right. Special guest, a lot of things to talk about with Everson, but first of all, let's talk about today's NFL game before we get into some of your memories and the things you did with the Cowboys and later with the New York Giants. Today's, yeah, give it to him. Yeah, he won the Super Bowl that year, too. That means we didn't win it, right?
That's right.
So anyway, you know, great career, but you see today's game, and what I notice most about today's game is the coverage in the secondary. And it's not the coverages that they play, but the talent, I don't think, is the same as when you guys played and what we were going against on a weekly basis. Do you see the same thing?
Yeah, I do, Drew. And what you notice is a lot of the cornerbacks and secondary, they can't catch the ball. You know, I think that's the main thing. It's like in basketball. You want to finish a play. Right. Somebody gives you drops you a nice dime. You want to make sure and flush it down and finish that play. With the players you have today, the coverage is so-so. But the ball catching ability is really non-existent. Mm-hmm. And when you start looking at how you can kill the momentum for the opponent's offense, that's with a turnover. Mm-hmm. And that's been the Cowboys' problem. Their opponent's offense is on the field too long. And consequently, they control the tempo of the ball game. Mm-hmm. But you know, when we played, I mean, I wasn't the only one getting picks. Mike Downs, Dennis Thurman, yes. All the boys were getting picks. It becomes contagious. Right. And that gives the defense rest, and it also gives your offense a chance to get on the field and score some points. Amen. That's what it's all about.
You guys weren't called the Thurman Thieves for nothing. Y'all remember that back then? Thurman Thieves? Who was it? Mike Downs?
Mike Downs. Dennis Thurman, of course, Ron Fellows, Dexter Clinkscale, Bill Bates, of all people.
Wow.
That just lets you know how long ago Bill played. But no, we had a close group. Yeah. And we believed in making turnovers because, after all, our speed wasn't there necessarily. Yeah. What we played with was our heart. We played with our brains, and we played with our playmaking ability. That's what we were all about.
But that was pretty cool because all you guys came in together at the same time.
And none of us had the respect.
And we had made a tremendous impact.
None of us had the respect. Bill Bates wasn't drafted. Mike Downs wasn't drafted. I wasn't drafted. Fellows came on in the 7th round.
And Clinkscale
was a free agent as well. Right. So you have 4 free agents there. Was Dennis drafted?
I don't think so. They say he was too slow.
Yeah, so, you know, he had 5 guys there.
That's amazing. That's
and yet
amazing.
here we lead the league in interceptions several years as a group.
Well, I know what that says is how well the Cowboys judged and evaluated talent back then.
And it also let you know that Gil Brandt was the cheapest son of a gun going because he never paid any of us either by keeping us at that free agent status. So,
well, let's get into that. What was your well, you signed as a free agent. What was your first year salary and your signing bonus with the world famous Dallas Cowboys?
My signing bonus was $1,500. $1,500, not 15,000.
You mean 000?
Yeah,
no?
not 150,000. $1,500. I spent it by the time training camp had gotten there. So I got it in June, and I think it was spent in August. It was all gone. The salary was about $32,000, and I think on the last, it was a 3-year deal. So on the last year, it jumped up to $38,000. Wow. So yeah, I was rolling, man. I was rolling in the dough.
38 grand. Can you imagine that? Can't even buy gas with that now. Anyway, we're talking about, before we get into the next segment, talking about memories of Texas Stadium and stuff, let's continue about this current. Who on this defensive, in the secondary, catches your eye? I mean, especially the young guys. I know Terrence Newman, when healthy, is a pretty good back,
yes.
You know, all-pro, Pro Bowler.
Yes.
But who else back there catches your eye?
You know, I think Hamlin is a very good player. Guys has a lot of range. Mm-hmm. He has a little bit more experience than most guys back there. But of course, T. Newman is one of the guys that he has the talent. You know he has the talent, and you know he's one of those guys that you just pull for because you know if he plays well, the entire secondary is going to play well. Right. And you just want him to get over those injuries. Once again, for a guy that returns punts and is always used to the ball being in his hands when he was in college, I'm surprised that his ball catching skills are not better. Mm-hmm. But I think with more time on the field, more consistency on the field, then I think he'll be the guy who will eventually be the leader of the team. I had high hopes for Pac-Man. This is a guy that obviously has very good ball catching skills. He can make the turnovers. But, you know, he's a little rusty. Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks, you know, Gil Brandt used to say, and they used to always upset me, he said you can find a wide receiver and a defensive back on any street corner. Well, that offended me because playing secondary as well as wide receiver, you have to be very in tune to what's going on. You have to be as polished as anyone, as a quarterback, defensive lineman, anyone. You can't just come off a street corner and play secondary. Right. And Pac-Man has learned that because even though he's played well, he still needs to get as many reps as possible to be the Pac-Man that we want him to be to make this secondary what it needs to be. Amen, amen. I think that, did you hear about the Jerry Jones wants you to come back and coach these defensive backs? You didn't hear about that? I didn't either. Jerry had his chances. He's had his chances. Amen. They surely can use your help. We'll be back at the second segment with our special guest, Everson Walls, and we'll get into what Everson is doing now and talk about some memories of Texas Stadium after this.